Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Scribe, dedicated to all things writing. So this is going to be a short and sweet video about one particular concept. In the previous video, we went over 10 tips to improve your writing craft. I do recommend that you watch that one first because I do reference some things in that video in today's video. So this topic for today is how to make your writing flow and how to prevent writer's block. This is a concept that I wish I knew. I wish that somebody told me when I first started my writing journey, because I would have saved maybe 10 years of aggravation. Okay, so actually way more than that, but collectively, it was a lot of frustration. And this is a concept that once you understand it in its truth and its reality, it makes all the difference. So this is based off of my own observations and some little theories that I'm going to kind of throw in there. Today's topic is a little bit more catered towards my spiritual audience. Yes, you're mostly all coming from my other channel, which is spirituality based, but this is still something that non-spiritual people can apply to their writing, and I will explain that here. So let's get right into it. So here is from what I can observe, okay? I guess it is my opinion, but I feel that this is the reality of what we are dealing with when we are tapping into creative energy, is that we are not necessarily the creator. We are actually the conduit or the channel of this creative energy or inspiration. Now let's really pick this apart. Back when I started my writing journey, I had all of the pressure in the world on my shoulders to say to myself, you have to write this book, or you have to create this world, or you have to figure out what the characters look like, or what they're saying, or what happens in the plot. That drove me nuts, okay? So all of that puts the pressure on you. If you guys happen to do this as well, it puts the pressure on you that you're the one that's creating everything, and you are the creator of this world and everything in it. Imagine the pressure, okay? And also it puts you in the head space rather than in the heart space, when in reality, inspiration and creativity does come from the heart and the spirit versus the actual head space. Okay, so this concept here, it always reminds me of the tarot card called the Magician, which most of you are familiar with from my other channel, okay? So the Magician is known as the ultimate conduit of energy. So if you look at his stance here, he has one arm pointing up with his wand towards the heavens, and then the other one pointing down to the earth. So what this means is that he is acting as a channel or a vessel for energy. This is exactly how writing or any creative energy works. So we are this channel. Here we are as this open, hopefully open channel of that creative energy or that inspiration, that divine information and knowledge. And all we're doing is we're channeling it from the divine down to earth. Okay, so our only job is to be an open channel. We are open, meaning we are calm and centered, and we're receiving. We are open and willing to receive this energy and information, and then filter it out and channel that into the world. Okay, so that is what I mean when I say that we are the conduit or the channel, not necessarily the creator. I feel comfortable with this concept. I actually feel incredibly uplifted from, when I understood this, because it takes the pressure off. It takes that pressure off the shoulders that I mentioned before. It allows you to write from the proper space, and you guys will see the difference. If you're writing from the space of your head and you're overthinking it, immediately you're going to get that writer's block or frustration, okay? And many of you have already experienced this. I don't even have to tell you. However, if you're writing from the space of your heart and you're feeling it, and you're really experiencing it within your soul, at the soul level, you can see a clear difference. Okay, so again, had I known this, I would have saved a lot of aggravation, a lot of frustration. So the concept of go with the flow, right? The fluidity aspect. So if you think of creative energy as just that, as energy, as something that flows, all of a sudden it becomes easier, because remember, you are here to be that channel, which I will give you an idea of how to do a little bit later. Okay, so rather than you thinking, okay, pressure, I have to do this, instead you are there calmly and centered and receiving now that you know where the energy is coming from or where the knowledge is coming from. So a quick tidbit is this here. If it's a true and genuine story, think of it in a sense that it's already written. So there's this concept known as the Akashic Records, which is basically sort of like a spiritual database of everything that's ever happened. And the theory is that everything already exists within this space. Okay, I'll probably link an article in the description below just so that you have that. But I happen to believe that this is true, and I only believe this simply because I've already observed it myself. So my example for you guys, I've been developing my psychological thriller novel forever and ever and ever, and I would start to see certain images in my head, or I would even hear these sounds or lines of dialogue or whatever, and I'm like thinking, it doesn't feel like I'm creating this. It feels like this is already there, and I'm kind of having like this psychic vision of something that might already be in existence. So in other words, to me, this is just my opinion, for my novel, the whole world of my novel, it's as if this is a whole world, a whole realm that already exists in itself, and I am channeling that world, that information, that story, and I'm bringing it here to planet Earth. That's been my experience. So I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but this is true for all forms of creativity. The same thing has happened to me for art, or for like this random sculpture that I made, and you're gonna see that you can't necessarily tap back into that thing and recreate it yourself. You have to be in that creative flow. So speaking of the old video, I used the tip, do not force it, okay? So when you go with the flow, you have to really go with it as if it is a flowing river, right? So there's a whole philosophy on this concept, but just for today, go with the flow means to allow yourself to go with the stream of energy as if it is a river. If you were to go against the river, you are going to immediately get frustrated and tired. But if you just went with it, imagine what would happen. You would get to wherever you wanted to go, and the energy, the creative energy, is going to flow through your hands or wherever it's coming out of like water. Okay? So that being said, you want to breathe, be calm, be open, and allow the energy to flow through you onto the piece of paper or whatever it is that you're using. Okay, so allow. You guys can feel free to write down affirmations on your sticky notes, put them on the wall so that you can remind yourself to be calm and be open and allow it to come towards you, okay? But if you force it, again, watch the video I posted before this. It has the tip. I'll talk about that more. If you force it, you're going to be creating a resistance energy and it's going to clash, okay? So the worst thing that you can do is force it. So you want to just breathe, and you want to allow it to come to you, and you want to be with the flow of that river, of that creative stream. So one thing that you can do, one simple thing that you can try, is you can visualize yourself as that channel of creativity. So go back to the magician, picture yourself as this conduit, as this channel. So you can picture that within the space of your heart, it's a common heart chakra meditation method, that you can picture that there's a golden chalice, one like here on his table here. Okay, so you can picture that you are this vessel, and it's clear, it's open, it's in flow. So you can picture a swirling sort of a flow of light within the channel or within the cup, and you can program that with an affirmation that says something like, I receive creative energy. I am a channel for creative information or creativity. It could be really anything. I forget the ones that I use specifically, but again, you are the channel. So some things that will block the channel, things like forcing it, things like negative energy, doubts, or self-criticism, or that pressure. Again, remember, right from the heart, right from the soul level. Get yourself out of the space of the head. If you feel yourself within the space of your head and the brain and you're overthinking it, try to like shift that downward and feel the focus going back to the heart. Breathe and allow your heart space to open up, okay? And feel, basically feel the creative flow coming through you. Because remember, it already is written, okay? Now, of course, you can use your head for other things. The head and the thinking parts of the brain, very helpful in things like outlines or actual logical development of your stories, perfect, that's fine. But when it comes to the beauty aspect, the creation aspect, this is what I want you to remember, okay? Right from the heart and from the soul. So just to recap, I feel and I have observed that this is the reality. We are not necessarily the creators. We are the conduits, we are the channels, and the best thing that you can do for yourself is be an open channel for that flow. So in this video, we talked about how to go with the flow, you know, a simple visualization. You guys can change that, whatever works for you. Sit down to your writing space, breathe, be calm, be open. And again, one tip that I mentioned in the previous video, you can light a candle, you can pray on it, meditate on it, you can invite your guides and angels or whomever you work with in your spiritual practices. And that is how you approach this. So the flow happens, if we are calm and open, we are receptive. And then that creative spark, that creative energy will flow through us like water. And that's a beautiful thing when that happens. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys in this video. I really hope that this helped. Again, this helped me, and I wish that I had known this in the beginning. Oh my goodness, I wish. So in the description box, I'm gonna link some, probably some resources or just another excerpt that I'm trying to do. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Feel free to ask me more questions or recommend some videos. And in the next videos, we're gonna really get into some nice meaty topics. Thank you once again, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.